Confident English Daily.
For those of you who honestly believe that sleeping with a thick grammar book under your pillow will somehow result in you waking up with a flawless British accent, I offer you a moment of silence. Let's be brutally honest. Most of you aren't actually learning a language. You are performing an autopsy on it. Day after day, you sit there memorizing the rules of subject plus verb plus object. You watch Netflix with the subtitles on and tell yourself, yes, I am absorbing the language. But the second you step outside, the second a real human being looks you in the eye and asks, "Hey, how's it going?" your throat goes completely dry. Your brain freezes up like an outdated Windows 98 computer trying to run a heavy 3D game. You stand there, blinking, while the other person waits. Believe me, you have fallen for the biggest scam in the education system. But today, right here on Confident English Daily, I am going to give you a hack. It will sound bizarre. It will sound almost absurdly simple, but it is going to literally hotwire your brain's neural pathways. It requires exactly 5 sentences, not one word more. Whenever you buy a spoken English course, what do they tell you? Keep a journal, write a story about your day. Right. So you sit down, you open a massive blank white notebook, and suddenly you are staring at that empty page as if it's a venomous snake getting ready to strike. This is what neuroscientists call the cognitive overload of the blank page. The sheer pressure of having to invent a narrative completely paralyzes the language centers of your brain. You don't just write. First, you think of a highly complex poetic thought in your native language. Then, you drag that thought through the rusty translation machine in your head. I am eating rice. Wait, is it eat or eating? He goes to the market. Wait, is it goes or went? Listen to me. Real-time conversation is not a traffic light where you can stop at red, translate your thoughts, and go on green. By the time you've translated your perfect grammatical sentence, the conversation is already over. The other person has moved on. You are a ghost in the conversation. So, what is the antidote? The 5-sentence constraint. This is your psychological low bar. When you tell your incredibly lazy, overthinking brain, "Hey, we only have to write 5 lines today and then we are completely done," your brain stops fighting you. It thinks, 5 lines? Even I can do that. This tiny, absurd constraint kills the translation paralysis before it even starts. Now, listen very carefully. You can't just write any random 5 sentences. There is a very specific, scientifically backed architecture to this. The first 2 sentences must purely be external sensory observations. What are you physically looking at or hearing right in this exact second? The remaining 3 sentences must be internal emotional reflections. How do you feel about the thing you are looking at? Let me give you a practical, slightly absurd example. Imagine you're sitting in a ridiculously chaotic traffic jam. You're sweating, you're annoyed. Your first 2 sentences, the external facts. I see a massive, rusted bus blowing thick black smoke directly into my window. A man is desperately hanging on to the door with one hand like his life depends on it. Now, the pivot. We move to your internal emotions. The next 3 sentences. This insane traffic jam makes me feel completely dead inside. I honestly wonder why our transport system feels like a dystopian movie. I just want to teleport to my room, turn the AC down to 18 degrees, and sleep for a week. Do you see what just happened? This 2-to-3 ratio is not random. It perfectly mimics the natural rhythm of human conversation. This is exactly how we speak in real life. We state a fact about the world, and then we complain about it or praise it. Instead of writing a massive, boring essay that your brain hates, you're creating a micro feedback loop. Now, the skeptics among you are rolling your eyes. You're thinking, how is writing 5 pathetic little lines going to give me speaking fluency? I'm not joking, because this isn't just a writing trick. This is pure brute force neurological wiring. If you look at the latest neuroplasticity research, the data is incredibly clear. Sitting at a desk for 5 hours on a Sunday, torturing yourself with grammar, does almost nothing for your real-time speech. But brief, daily, high-impact bursts, they drastically thicken the myelin sheaths around your neurons. When you force yourself to look at your immediate, chaotic environment and describe it, you push your brain into a state called active recall triggering. Your brain doesn't have time to open its internal dictionary. It doesn't have time to translate. It has to fire words like bullets right now. This rhythmic daily practice takes a sledgehammer to the translation machine in your head. Now, here's where the magic really happens. These daily micro-journaling entries aren't just diary pages. They become your scripted archive for the real world. Through a method we call sentence stacking, these exact 5-line blocks seamlessly combine to form 5-minute fluent conversations. You have already preloaded the ammunition. And for those of you who are terrified of sounding unnatural, here's a pro-level workflow. Take your 5 sentences, paste them into a high-quality AI text-to-speech generator. Listen to the AI read your words. Does it sound robotic? Use the AI as your personal director. Verify the rhythm. Make sure your expression is 100% authentic before you ever open your mouth in public. I am giving you a challenge right now. Commit to this exact roadmap for the next 30 days. No excuses, no "I'll start tomorrow." If you do this, by the end of one single month, you will have a stockpile of over 150 high-impact conversational templates. They will be hardwired into your subconscious mind, ready to fire on command. Your brain won't stutter. It won't translate. It will just speak. You have spent enough years of your life passively consuming content. You have spent enough time sighing heavily when you hear someone else speak fluent English. Put your phone down. Open a notebook. Look at the room you are sitting in right now. Write your 5 sentences. Start.